This is Holly Price with woodlandshits.com and Voice of the Woodlands. I have Max Flinn here in the studio today. Thank you so much for coming in, Max.
You're very welcome.
So I actually had the pleasure of meeting you at the 30th Annual Woodlands Waterway Art Festival, and I was just blown away. I was absolutely blown away. So you were actually born and raised in Houston.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Bel Air, Texas.
Bel Air, Texas. And now what got you started into music and it's predominantly country music, correct?
Yeah, that's right. When I was really young, I always was enthralled by music. I would sit in front of the TV and watch this guy named Raffi. Okay, he was like this children's singer.
Yes, I remember him.
Yeah, it was so ridiculous, and he would sing the most ridiculous songs.
Oh my gosh, what was your favorite Raffi song?
Probably Down by the Bay.
Yeah.
Classic.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
It's classic. And so I'd sit there and play air guitar with whatever I could find, and I guess eventually around 9 or 10, my parents just kind of gave in and got me my first guitar, and I took a couple lessons, and I just was, I was kind of over the lessons. I don't know. I've never been really studious, I guess you could say. So I just started playing and just, self-taught over the years. In junior high, some friends of mine sort of introduced me to Texas country, I guess, through their parents. So like Pat Green and Corey Morrow and Earl Keane and Stoney LaRue and just the whole crew, right? So
and they're all very well connected, and they all hang out with each other all the time. I'm realizing that. So
yeah, I've kind of heard that as well. And you notice when you see them all in the same lineup at the festivals and stuff like that. And I've heard it can be a really tough scene to break into, but that's kind of what I'm hoping for one of these days. And
I'm sure you'll be just fine.
Well, thank you.
I'm sure you will. So, when did you do like your very first gig? Do you remember?
So, wouldn't necessarily call it a gig, but sort of the church I was raised in would have me, do some worship music on like a retreat or maybe at a Sunday service or something like that because they knew that I played. And I think doing that over time sort of led me to getting back into playing country music. And I guess, so the first real gig I probably did was somebody through church who knew that I played country music, booked me for a private party. Okay. And that was probably the beginning of 2015. Okay. So the beginning of last year, really. I played at this, it's called the Honeymoon Cafe downtown.
Oh, cool.
Houston. And it was a fundraising event for this organization called Living Water. They go all over the world, third world countries. And
I've heard of that. I have heard of that.
They drill water wells, and next thing you know, somebody heard me there and booked me. I didn't have a business card, I didn't have a demo, I didn't have anything, and so one private party led to another, and then I was doing a few of them, and then it just kind of spun off from there.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So you actually have a couple of events coming up here in May. Well, several in May that I saw on your website, which is maxflinn.com with 2 N's.
Two N's and an I, that gets confused.
Right.
And like they spelled at the Woodlands Art Festival,
I saw that.
It was M-A, I think triple X. Well, just 2 X's. Triple X would have been a little raunchy. But they did M-A-X-X-F-L-Y.
I did see that.
N-N. I was like that, I told the guys at Trey Diller and Adam and them, I said, man, you might be onto something here. It sounds like this might be a good stage name or something.
That's awesome. Okay, so if people want to come and check you out, you're doing a songwriter series at Red Brick Tavern on May 19th.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you also have another event in June. Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so Red Brick Tavern's cool because I went out there to see Jason Eady, who's just a big inspiration to me. And he's an incredible songwriter, this guy. And I ended up hanging around, kind of got to talk with him, and then one thing led to another. The guy I was with knew the owner of Red Brick Tavern, and I told her, hey, I play, and sent her the demo, and she booked me for that Thursday. I guess every week they do like a songwriter series kind of thing.
Oh, cool.
So excited about that. And then I have a couple things in June, but in July I'll be out here again at the Do-Si Do for it's the Nashville Songwriters Association. They're doing a showcase, I guess. Well, they sort of it's the Houston chapter that meets, I believe, annually or biannually.
Okay.
And they're gonna have me out there to showcase a few songs, I guess, when it's all said and done.
That's July 11th at 7 p.m. at the Do-Si-Do on 1488, the Music Cafe. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Which I've never been there before, but
It's
I've heard
great.
Wonderful things.
It's great. Do-Si-Do is one of our partners. You know, the Voice of the Woodlands is really their radio station. They wanted us to build this radio station, you know, to support local country artists and Texas Red Dirt Country. So that's what we did, and that's our little bread and butter over there.
It's really great. I've listened to the station several times, and it's awesome. And I really appreciate you playing my songs. I mean, that's
of course
my first demo. Nobody's ever played my songs on the radio, so.
Well, you'll never forget us.
I've never been into a radio station, much less recorded an interview. So since I got hired at my job, so this is cool.
Awesome. So you also have an album release coming up. So tell me, you know, about when that's going to happen, if you're going to be doing a possible release party.
Yeah, so we're shooting for the end of May, just lining up all the different musicians that I need to come in. I've got a girl that I'm singing a duet with, Taylor Slocum. She's incredibly talented. And then just all the instrumental parts, like we need a fiddle player to come in and get all the steel guitar done and stuff like that. It's going to be a true country record. You know, when you listen to it, you're not gonna have any doubt that it's country music, because I love steel guitar and fiddle and Telecaster, and I love all that whole sound, you know. So we're shooting for the end of May, and then want to try to do some sort of album release party maybe in July or something like that. Preferably at Republic Saloon in Midtown, because that's the first venue that has ever hosted my full band.
Nice.
And they did that pretty regularly. So
well, you'll have to keep us updated on that so we can, you know, shoot it out on social media, or you know, maybe we'll do another interview to promote that event.
I'm excited. It's going to be 8 of my own songs that I wrote. There wasn't any co-writes. I did it all myself. I mean, you know, I don't really know what I'm doing, but you know, I put them together.
Obviously, you do if you're playing at the Woodlands Waterway Art Festival and other venues as well. So, and if you've got Do-Si-Do in the sites, they know good music. So,
you know, in the short time that I've been doing this, I've noticed that there's just so much to learn in this industry. I mean, I was so naive coming in. You know, I knew I wanted to play out, and all I was doing was those couple private parties. So I decided I want to start playing out. And I mean, you got to do a lot of things before you do that. You know, you got to have something recorded. You need to have a website. You need to have some professional pictures, and you know, it's not as good as you know. You can't just go up to a bar owner and say, "Hey, man, you know, I'd like to play here. What do you think?" You know, you gotta have some proof. You know,
sure.
Getting all that stuff lined out has been a process, and
well, you're learning,
fun.
So and that's cool. I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
the experience and just learning the journey and moving forward. So I think that's fabulous. So Max Flinn, MaxFlinn.com is the website. You can find out. You know, there's a great bio on there. There's some videos. There's, you know, upcoming shows that you're going to be doing, you know, within the next couple of months. Again, you know, follow him on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff on his website as well. I know you brought your guitar. I didn't know if you wanted to play a little something for the listeners. You're more than welcome.
Absolutely.
To. Okay. Bring it on.
Give me a second to
bring it on.
All right, so I'll play you this one. This one's called Love Song to Write. I tell people it's kind of a love song, but it's not really about anybody. Okay. It's kind of like the hope for one.
Okay.
So this will be on the record. It hasn't been ever recorded or anything like that. So here it goes. It's just another Sunday night in Houston. Sitting here strumming my guitar alone. Wishing I had a girl to sing about. But you know, it's been a while since I had a girl of my own. Well, I've been out on a date or two since then. Seems I'm always dragging out. This ain't another one of them sad country songs. 'Cause I've got faith it's gonna work itself out. 'Cause I know that she's out there, sitting under this same Texas sky. And I know that God's gonna bring us together. Been a few years now since I started writing this song, and all along I'm just dragging out. The red-headed girl ran home with a big old piece of my heart, but them good times got overshadowed by the doubt. You know, someday I wanna raise a few kids of my own, but you can't put the cart out before the home. First I gotta find a home that fits right in my arms. Now I'm gonna keep on dreaming and let life run its course. 'Cause I know that she's out there, sitting under this same Texas sky. And I know that God's gonna bring us together, and then I'll finally have that love song to write. There's a chance that I may never find her, but this guitar and I will get along just fine. Man, I hope that she's out there, sitting under this same Texas sky. And I hope that God's gonna bring us together, and then I'll finally have that love song to write. And then I'll finally have that love song to write.
Awesome!
There you have it.
That is awesome!
Thank you.
Good job!
I feel like that's a good, solid Texas country song right
yes.
there that could do well
We
in
need to
this state.
play that on Voice.
Well, thank you. Yeah, once we get it recorded and sounding good, we'll get it over to you.
Maybe I could put the acoustic. No, I'm kidding. No, I'll wait. I'll put it till you've got it all pristine and perfect. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Well, Max, thank you so much for coming into the studio and
Sure.
telling us all about your fabulous stuff going on. And we'll still stay connected. Bring you in for some additional interviews, get some updates on what's going on, and we're firm believers of supporting our local artists. So we'd love to be that outlet for you guys.
Awesome. Well, it's great to be here. I love your station, and thanks for playing my stuff and having me out. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You are welcome.